Today we're talking about your credit score. Do you know your credit score?
I do.
You do?
I do. I'm not comfortable sharing it, but I do know my credit score.
I'm like 600.
Do you think that's good or bad? Are you over 700?
Almost.
Okay.
I think it's around 820, 815, 820.
Oh, what's your name, by the way? I joke. All the single ladies, this is your guy. Today we're in Brampton, back with another episode of Building Better with Brandon, powered by TD, where we're talking all about financial literacy, but the focus today is your credit score. But before we do anything further, I need you to do a few things, like subscribing to this channel, tap that notification bell, don't forget to smash the like button, and make sure to follow us across all of our social media. Okay, so when it comes to your credit score, we all know some people love them, other people hate them, but what we all know is that we need a good one. So let's find out how to make that happen. Do you know the difference between a good credit score and a bad credit score? Let's find out. Okay, so what do you consider a good credit score?
A good credit score? 700. 700 is very good, but 650 should be good.
I think it's somewhere around 800 or something like that, isn't it?
Okay. Do you know what a good credit score is?
No.
Take a guess.
500?
What's considered a bad credit score?
In my eyes, I would say under 550, but I'm not sure what the standard is, you know?
400.
400. Down there, like 400, 450 down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Do you know anybody with that type of credit score?
There's a lot of people. 'Cause remember when people's young, they don't think about that, right? So they run up bills and stuff, and then it be that way when they get older.
Faith is back on the show. We're building
Brandon.
better.
Yeah, man.
What is considered a good credit score?
Credit scores range between 300 to 850.
300 being
The
not
lowest,
good?
like, yeah. And 850 being like excellent. Like
Okay.
you're doing great with your credit.
So why is a credit score important?
So credit score is important because it helps you to borrow money with the understanding that you'll pay later. If you have a high credit score, you also become attractive to lenders.
So a lot of people, we were talking to a lot of people on the streets here in Brampton, and people have said, listen, I've made some mistakes. I got a credit card, I didn't really know how to use the credit card, It affected my credit score. How can people who have a lower credit score build that up? What are some tips you have for them?
The first thing is for them to review their credit score. So once you do that, you have to come up with a plan. Do you want to start by focusing on the low-hanging fruits, so paying off the lower credit balances, or do you want to consolidate all of your debt and have just one payment?
There are different types of credit cards out there. Like you have a prepaid credit card, right?
Yes,
You have a regular credit card. What's the difference between the two?
So basically, a prepaid credit card, you load the credit card with a certain amount of money.
Now, does a prepaid credit card affect your credit score?
No, but it helps you in terms of building the behavior to pay off your bills, and just the mindset of knowing that you're purchasing on credit.
So it's like a bicycle with training wheels.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
We have to talk about the common mistakes people make that negatively affect their credit scores.
Borrowing money from banks and stuff, not paying it back. Credit cards, not paying it back.
I'd say spending a lot more than they have.
Yeah.
Spending a lot more than they have. Falling into the wrong crowd, not really having the proper financial literacy.
Yeah.
As you guys are preaching right now, right?
We're preaching with our full chest.
As you should, because
Are you listening is the
not a lot of
question.
people.
If you're investing in a loan, make sure you use it on yourself. It's better to have a bad credit score and knowing you took the fall for it, as opposed to doing something for someone else.
What are some of the biggest mistakes people make?
One of the major mistakes is people don't pay their balance on time. And what then happens is they start to accrue interest on top of the balance. Your credit utilization level also matters. Say,
What
for
does that
example,
mean? What do you mean utilization?
I'll give you an example. If you have a credit card that has a limit of $10,000, for example, and you use, say, $9,000, you've almost maxed out that credit card.
Oh.
So that's the utilization of the credit card. It might signal to financial institutions that you're kind of like this
In a tight situation.
in a tight situation financially. It's like a red flag, for them.
Oh, we don't want no red flag. We just want to hold a green flag. Go.
Exactly.
So what are ways that you can build your credit score?
You gotta work, first of all, gotta work very hard. Maybe 2 jobs or 3 jobs.
Pay your bills in advance. Don't
just
wait till the due date.
Getting a small credit card,
Okay.
paying certain bills, just regular spending, and just making sure you pay it before your your period is done.
Take control of your expenses. Don't spend more than what you earn, and that's how you will. That's how it will help you in paying down your debt, whatever debt you have.
Payments on time, no late payments.
Okay,
Yeah.
talk with your full chest out.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. That's what I'm all about.
Get a credit card and, use the credit card and pay it back. Because they got to be able to trust you. That's what credit pretty much is. They got to be able to trust you, and they can trust you with that amount of money.
For anybody who wants to build credit, especially young people coming out of university,
Yeah.
what are some do's and what are some don'ts?
Don'ts. So I'm gonna start with the do's. So I think it's very important that they speak with a financial advisor.
Yeah.
At any of our branches, they could walk in and get trusted advice in terms of how to set up maybe get a credit card, start with a very low limit and work their way up. Of course, I would encourage them to make sure they get a job, because it's important that you have income coming in order for you to be able to pay off your balances whenever they are due. When it comes to the don'ts, I would say they shouldn't purchase things that they haven't made plans for.
To pay
Especially
for it.
exactly to pay for, especially big purchases.
Right.
If you're going to make big purchases, you want to plan ahead for that. You have to come up with a plan that works for you. And that is why, at TD, we have the Black customer experience, and also we have, the 2S LGBTQ2+. We have different segments, and what we're trying to do is to bring this tailored type of plan and general banking and financial support to, to these different communities.
Do you know the benefits of having a good credit score?
In my eyes, I think ultimately it's pretty basic. Your credit's your reputation.
Well, I hear it's good to build credit so that you can pay for different expenses, I guess. When you're ready to buy a house and all that stuff, you have enough credit to, I guess, purchase it or be able to stabilize it.
I'd say purchasing large properties and vehicles, so maybe purchasing apartments or condos and such, vans, sedans, and so on and so forth.
There's a lot of people who we also talked to said they want to buy a home, or they want to get like a car loan, they want to get a new car and all these things. How can a good credit score help with that, and how can a bad credit score negatively affect you with that?
Having a good credit score is good, but that in itself doesn't necessarily make financing or credit accessible to you. You still need to have a steady source of income or steady flow of income coming in. Because when you're trying to access credit, basically you need to be able to make the monthly payments on the credit. And having a good credit score alone is not going to cut it.
So I understand we need to check our credit score, but
Absolutely.
how do you do that?
Well, there are services you can access online, and I would advise people to check their credit score frequently and regularly, just to make sure that the information that is being reported is accurate and up to date, and also for them to have a good idea of the amount of debt that they have and how
And what's going on.
and what's going on.
There is a myth out there that I want to debunk, but will it affect your credit score if you continuously check your credit score?
No, not if you, the individual, check
Yeah.
your credit score. You can check your credit score and your credit report as much as you want, and it doesn't affect your
And your credit score will be fine.
Your credit score will be perfectly fine.
Okay.
What affects your credit score is when you apply for credit.
Right. So whether
Yes,
that's like for a car loan or you're looking for a mortgage.
Whenever a financial
Got
institution
it.
rings your credit up, it affects it.
Got it.
Yes.
Do you know the difference between a credit card statement date and a due date?
I'm gonna go off a guess here. Like the statement dates when they give you like the receipt amount of how much you have to owe back, and then the due dates like when they start asking you for the money.
Statement date, I guess, is when the statement's issued. A due date is when you need to pay it off.
Well, statement, you've got some time. Due date is going to tell you when it's due. You got to pay it before then.
Statement date is probably, no. Actually, no. I'm trying.
Statement date is when your credit card bill gets printed. The due date is when you have to pay your full.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you
now
got
that
it?
you broke it down, yes, understand.
I got you. We're building better.
There we go.
So we asked people on the street a trick question. We wanted to know if they knew the difference between a credit card statement date and a credit card due date.
Okay.
Give us the answer, Faith.
So basically, a credit card statement date is the date the statement was printed.
Okay.
Yes. And the due date is the date that the payment is supposed to be due, or is expected to be due.
Yeah.
So the payment must be made on or before, preferably before
Right.
that date.
That money needs to be there.
Absolutely.
Posted on
that day.
So is there anything that the bank offers, for example, that could help alleviate that problem for people?
At TD Bank, we actually have an app. It's called My Spend Account, and it actually tracks your spending. And
Also does all the thinking for you.
Exactly, it does all the thinking for you, all the analytics. So it tells you how much debt you're carrying, where you went to, what you spent your money on, and all that kind of stuff. And it also tells you when the next payment is due.
Awesome. Faith, thank you so much for all that advice.
Thank you, Brandon. It's always good to be here with you.
Hey BG Squad, thanks so much for checking out our channel. And listen to this, we have more great content for you, like this video right here and this video right here. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now and tap that notification bell.